start from the beginning, because we can glean a lot from looking at the beginning. In Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26, we're going to read 26 to 31, because this is the creation story, how God creates man, and we're going to glean some good wisdom from there. So in verse 26 it says this: Then God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. And God blessed them. And God said to them, be fruitful, and multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. And God said, behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of all the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit. You shall have them for food. And to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that has the breath of life, I have given every green plant for food. And it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, and that was the sixth day. Now, there's a couple of things I want to point out here that are really interesting. First thing that we are going to notice here is that Adam was created on the sixth day. That has so many implications. First of all, he was created after everything else had been made. God created everything else first, and then after that he made Adam, brought him into a world where everything he required was already made. I'm going to make that point later. But there's something I want to point out here at the beginning. You know, when we read, it always said that the evening and the morning was the first day, the evening and the morning was the second day. Why is that important? And if you see the way that the Jews count time, it's opposite to the rest of us. So for them, their day, here in the Bible, the way that God is counting these days, the day is not starting at 6 a.m. The day is not starting in the morning. He says, and the evening and the morning was the first day. For him, the day is starting in the evening. He's counting time from 6 p.m. So the first hour of the day is 6 p.m., which means that the first part of the day is 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. That's the first 12 hours of the day. 6 p.m. in the evening to 6 a.m. in the morning. That's like first half of the day. Then the rest of the day is 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So in other words, the way that they're counting time, the way that God was counting time here in Genesis, and the way that our brothers do, is that he's counting from 6 p.m. and then the first half of the day is night. And then in the morning, we are already half of the day spent. And then in the morning, afternoon up to evening, that's the day ending. So the day started at night and ended during the day. Why is that significant? Because God creates Adam on the sixth day, which means that God creates Adam, or when Adam opens his eyes for the first time, it is not morning, because he's created on the sixth day, at the beginning of the sixth day. When Adam opens his eyes, it is evening. Adam basically arises in the evening. Let us say that the day started at 6 p.m. If God created him on the hour 6 p.m., it would mean that when Adam opens his eyes, the sun is setting and the night is starting. Why is that important? Because that means that Adam comes into rest. Adam is born into rest. The first thing that is happening to him is coming into rest. He's opening his eyes and it's already night. He cannot go out and start running around and jumping because the sun has set. He has no light. He immediately, the first thing that Adam needs to do, guess what? To sleep. God creates him, and the very first thing, when Adam opens his eyes, it is evening. The sun has set. It is dark outside. So what does he have to do? To rest, to sleep. That's his job. The first thing, he's born into rest. He starts from rest. We could say if he was created on the sixth day, so the sixth day would have been Thursday 6 p.m. to Friday 6 p.m. That would have been the sixth day. And then the seventh day would have been Friday 6 p.m. to Saturday 6 p.m. So Adam is born on Thursday night, and the first thing he has to do is to rest, to lie down and have some sleep, because it's evening and he has a serious day because it's going to be his first daylight when he's going to be active during the day. So it is rest time. Adam gets up and the first thing he has to do is rest. 50% of his first day he spends it resting. He spends it sleeping. By the time he wakes up on Friday morning, half of the day has already been spent. And this is symbolic for us and our day in Christ when we wake up to sleep. So that is important. And here's a verse I wanted to talk about here in Psalm 127 and verse 2. It says this: "It is vain that you rise up early and go late to rest, eating the bread of anxious toil, for he gives to his beloved sleep." He gives to his beloved sleep. So many of us understand that this verse is saying that God gives to us sleep because he loves us, that God gives those that he loves sleep, and that when we receive his love, then we will be able to rest and to sleep, even at night, for those who have insomnia and struggle to sleep. While that is true, it's not really what that verse is saying. If you read other translations of that verse, you'll see something else. The Amplified Bible says this: "It is vain for you to rise early, to retire late, to eat the bread of anxious labors. For he gives blessings to his beloved, even in his sleep." That God gives blessings to his beloved, even in their sleep. BPE says this: "It is of no use for you to get up early and to go late to your rest, with the bread of sorrow for your food. For the Lord gives to his loved ones in sleep." The God's Word translation says this: "It is useless to work hard for the food you eat by getting up early and going to bed late. The Lord gives food to those he loves while they sleep." That's like the most accurate translation of that verse there. Good News says this: "It is useless to work so hard for a living, getting up early and going to bed late, for the Lord provides for those he loves while they are asleep." Yes, that's correct. Jewish publication: "It is vain for you that you rise early and sit up late, ye that eat the bread of toil. So he giveth unto his beloved in sleep." TPT says this: "It really is senseless to work so hard from early morning till late at night, toiling to make a living for fear of not having enough. God can provide for his lovers even while they sleep." That's what that verse is actually saying. In the Hebrew, that's what it's saying, that God provides gifts. In fact, one translation says that God gives gifts to his beloved while they sleep, even while they sleep. That's what he's saying, that while we are resting in him, he's providing for us. While we are resting in him, he's taking care of our needs. While we are sleeping, he's watching over us, he's protecting us, he's working out how to take care of us. As we rest in him, is providing for us wisdom. For them, they believe that as you rested, God would provide wisdom and insight. He will give you strategy for the day. So while we sleep, God is providing for us all these blessings, all this provision. And while we slept in Christ, dead in Christ, he was providing for us